Girls Frontline 2 is almost out, but people are asking if the limited banner is actually worth it. How good is SUOMI in your account? All of that question will be answered in this video, so stay tuned. Okay, first up, who is SUOMI? SUOMI is a limited support Tidal that excels in providing shields and healing to allies while also providing ice damage and defense buffs. Not only that, but also she can dispel some debuffs to your allies, so she is super reliable. And once again, she provides a good amount of shields and healing to your allies. So if you're planning to play Girls Frontline 2 in a long term, she is a good pick for you. Her kit is awesome, but her personality in-game is super interesting. Next up, CN opinion to SUOMI. We all know that SUOMI is actually out in CN for a long while now. So let's go and talk about that. So to give you a context on CN, SUOMI was released on June 25, 2024 to July 16, 2024. And she also received a rerun on August 27 to September 19. Well, that means CN community can actually tell us an accurate information about SUOMI. I saw a lot of different tier lists on CN and they actually put SUOMI on tier 0 or either tier 0.5. Tier 0 meaning one of the best character in the game. All the tier lists actually stated one thing in common. She is a versatile fighter with a strong area of effect attacks and debuff capabilities. For short, CN community actually likes her. Now let's talk about SUOMI's kit. Her kit is absolutely interesting. First up, her basic attack will deal physical damage. Winter's Wrath is actually the most interesting part here. Each Tidal has corresponding pace element and each weapon they wield has a weapon damage attribute. There are 5 pace elements: Burn, Electric, Hydro, Freeze, and Corrosion. And this skill actually deals freeze damage. If the enemy is weak to freeze, that means this ability will deal more damage to that enemy. But it said that this skill deals fixed damage with reduced critical rate. But it turns out it deals ice damage equivalent to 100% attack to it and decreases the crit rate by 100%. And also, it additionally deals fixed damage equivalent to 50% defense. So for sure, this skill is designed for dealing consistent damage with no crit potential and add a fixed damage bonus based on your defense stat, and this will be particularly effective for destabilizing enemies when used near allies. Next up, Snow's Grace. This skill combines protection and utility, making it ideal for shielding allies in the thick of battle while also enhancing their survivability against multiple foes. Next up, her ultimate. For enemies, the area of effect is fixed damage in a 3 tile radius. It applies avalanche stacks, which is likely a debuff or damage over time effect. Aside from damage to the enemies, there is some effects on her allies too. It stabilizes all allies with stability gauge increases, and it has a debuff cleansing, which means it removes 1 debuff and taunt. And it has protection, which grants frost barrier to her allies and frost guard shield stacks for enhanced survivability. And also, as you can see on the screen, there is a frost tile, which creates a strategic zone for 3 turns and potentially altering movements, buffing allies, or debuffing enemies. Next up, passive. This skill makes SUOMI a versatile support damage hybrid, which is she provides a AoE healing to sustain the team and also applies avalanche to weaken the enemies during ally action. And also there is a counter damage which reacts to single target attacks by allies with additional damage, which is the stability, disruption, and crit buffs. And it gives sustain and mobility, which benefits from staying healthy to maintain quick step and maximizes her impact. For short, SUOMI shines in teams with frequent single-target attackers, allowing her to continuously trigger action support and maintain offensive pressure while healing the team. I know that some of my babbling right now is not in the screen, but I'm using the description or the skill description in CN. So it gives you more in-depth information on each skill. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I know that some of you guys are confused. What is fixed key? Is this the duplicate of Girls Frontline 2? The answer is no. Keys are like equipable items that you can unlock through Neural Helix, which is the skill tree of Girls Frontline 2. This skill is the most effective when used in the combination with abilities or attacks designed to deplete or break the enemy's stability gauge. So that means this skill reinforces control-based gameplay by rewarding successful stability breaks with improved team survivability. This one gives you 3 points of Confectance Index at the start of the battle. Next up, while using a Snow Grace, increase if the target's HP is below 80%, it will give you 1 skill point. SUOMI gains more mobility when allies are injured, allowing her to reach them more easily or reposition for support or offensive action. So when SUOMI is inflicted with stun, taunt, or paralysis, it dispels inflicted debuff immediately, which is the stun, taunt, or paralysis. And also it gives immunity to them for 1 turn. And also it applies Frost Barrier to SUOMI, which lasts for 3 turns. This effect can only be triggered once per battle. And this skill is a powerful countermeasure against crowd control effects, and that would normally disrupt SUOMI's action. So for short, this skill enhances SUOMI's survivability by allowing her to bypass these debuffs, making her more resilient in battles where control effects are common. So let's say that you end the turn of SUOMI and her stability index is greater than 0. It will recover 10% of her maximum HP and gains 1 stability index for SUOMI. Holy moly, that's a lot of text, but this skill is designed to enhance the holder's survivability and offering a strong recovery and defensive buff when their HP is low. So that means this will give her a more survivability option in the game or in battle. So, is she worth it? For people who are planning to be a long-term Girls Frontline 2 player, I think she is very good to your account because she provides an insane shield to all allies, and she has a healing built into her passive which is super reliable and can further increase her healing by having just 1 duplicate. So if you're looking for a character that provides a good amount of buff, SUOMI is one of the best character out there. So she has the following: shielding, healing, and buffing your team. I will repeat that: shielding, healing, and buffing. And also let's not forget about cleansing the debuffs. So if you're a free-to-play player, do you need any duplicate or copies for her? 1 duplicate is enough, but if you're a free-to-play player and you want to maximize your free-to-play progress, you don't need any duplicate to her because she is super good on her base kit. And once again, if you guys are looking forward or maybe you're watching in the future, so if you didn't get SUOMI, it's not the end of the world, okay? In this game, team composition will have a bigger impact than using units from higher tiers. Just build a team around the units you like and you will progress in the game sooner or later. But anyways, I guess that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for coming by, and also if you want to check out my past videos like answering a lot of questions about Girls Frontline 2, you can check this out. And also, I livestream also in the pinned comments. Go and check it out. And thank you so much again for watching, and see you guys on the next one. Peace out.